This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president of Gladiator Metals, Mr. Marcus Harden. Marcus, great to have you back on. How are you, sir?
Very well, thanks, Gerardo. Yeah, very well.
Well, listen, let's get right into it. We have a 4 handle on the copper price. I am a very proponent of copper being one of the key metals if we are going to transition into this new future of energy. And look, whether we agree with the politics or not, we're going to need a whole bunch of copper to make it happen on a global scale. Would not surprise me to see $7-8 copper. But at $4 copper, a lot of the equities are starting to react. You keep announcing drill results that speak to grade and scale. So I wanted to have you on and just get an update real quick on the ongoing drilling program and how things are coming along there.
Yeah, so as you know, Gerardo, we've got 2 rigs out at the moment. So our sort of overall objective for this year is to put about 5,000 to 10,000 meters into our top 5 targets in the Whitehorse copper belt. We have one target area, Cowley Park, which we're fairly happy is sort of resource conversion ready. We've got mineralization consistent over 700 meters at good grades of 1.5% copper and approaching sort of 2% copper equivalents over much of that. But our recent drilling has been into 2 of the other target areas. So we currently have 10,000 meters going into the Little Chief area and Middle Chief areas at the moment. And that was where we've recently announced the first 2,500 meters of that. That was actually into a new and unmined area. We had some results including 22 meters at 1.41, 16 at 1.29. But I think one of the things we're really excited about is we're starting to see some significant gold credits along with that number as well. So LGC 003 hit 13.75 meters at 2.71% copper, but we're really encouraged to see almost 1.5 grams a ton gold accompanying that. And that result was actually from the bottom of the hole. The hole failed in mineralization. And the reason we're encouraged to see those gold results, Gerardo, is because we're drilling in an area of a lot of historical drill results, which are unmined. Some of those include sort of results up to 49 meters at 3% copper. But importantly, none of that historical drilling was assayed for gold as well, and that's despite gold being a significant credit in production. One of the other things we've been excited about, which we announced, but we haven't got the results back for, is we did a step out around 250 meters to the northwest of those results, so that unmined area, and we've been intersecting mineralization from surface. We've only put in 3 holes so far, but all 3 holes intersected the same style of mineralization, which is magnetites with generally bornites and chalcosites as their main copper minerals, with subordinate chalcopyrite. And that was from the top of the hole. So we're obviously pretty excited about being able to extend mineralization now over all up more than a kilometer. So we're seeing Little Chief emerge as a major potential contributor to future resources on the project, and we're looking forward to announcing the further 7,500 meters there. And then we also have our initial holes going into another project at the Cub Trend. This is about 2.5 kilometers to the west of Cowley Park, and we're starting to see some significant mineralization there. But we're very excited about that area. There's a lot of historical high-grade copper drill intercepts from surface, which are unmined as well, over about a kilometer trend, and we're sort of drilling that trend out undercover, which has been, and that target horizon has been indicated by recent magnetic surveys that we've conducted.
Marcus, for those that aren't familiar with
very excited about the news flow for the next couple of months.
No, absolutely. No, as am I. And for those that aren't familiar with the Gladiator story and are looking for quality copper and gold exposure. Can you just give a brief overview of the scale? Because I can't emphasize enough how important it is when you're looking at projects and you're looking at companies. If you're going to allocate capital towards a company and speculate in this high risk, high reward space, you want the potential for a big win, right? And the scale here is what's really attractive to me.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, we've got about 35 kilometers of strike on the sort of copper trend under tenure, but we're really focusing on, as I mentioned, sort of our top four targets within the southern 12 kilometers of that. And I think one thing to note is that we're not out there having to make discoveries. This is a mature copper district. It produced 10 million tons at 1.5% copper and coming on a gram a ton gold as well. And it was mined by Hudbay between 1967 and 1982. And when Hudbay left, they actually left sort of resources and reserves on the books over that 12 kilometer. Obviously, those aren't to modern NI 43-101 standards. But essentially, we're going back through. We're digitizing that historical data, and we're starting to convert those historical resources and reserves into modern standards. But I think what's really excited us about this project is that previous exploration was very much outcrop driven. So outcropping high grade copper mineralization, they'd go and they'd drill fairly close space fences around that, and that was because they were they had a hungry mill there, and they were very much driving near-term production as their focus. Whereas we've got a bit more of a luxury of starting to step back, try and prove continuity undercover between those outcrops, and start really looking for much larger sort of targets, sort of building that continuity between those already discovered zones. And we feel like we've already got one potential area at Cowley Park, which would meet that standard, and we're looking to build up the next three, and hopefully our objective is to have line of sight on sort of 50 to 100 million tons, whilst maintaining that higher grade copper picture of 1.5% copper.
Well, you're off to a heck of a start. The drill bit's hitting everywhere. I think we now have, with gold at all-time highs, near all-time highs, and with copper breaking out, the timing couldn't be better, Marcus. Thank you so much for the update. I'm looking forward to having you back on as soon as we get assays from the other areas.
Thank you very much, Gerardo. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we've got a lot of news flow coming from another sort of 12,500 meters of diamond drilling, which is underway. And also, I think we're really looking forward to presenting the results of the drone magnetic survey, because I think listeners will be able to start to see the continuity we're talking about between those advanced prospects at the moment, and the potential scale that we're talking about.
Well, looking forward to seeing all of it. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Gerardo.
Cheers. Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.